Welcome back everyone to more of our gameplay series of X4 Foundations. And in today's video, there are a couple of things I want to accomplish, but one thing in particular is going to be a huge step forward, and it's going to take quite a while actually to get up and running here in the X universe. So one thing we want to do, you see in the bottom left-hand corner, is we want to help out our new friend. All right, we've saved his life, we've gotten him a new ship, and so he wants to try to repay the favor by helping us out on our trading. Now, how is he going to help us out? Is he going to get us some credits, negotiate a discount? I have no idea, but we're hopefully going to find that out in today's video. But the first thing that I've done, and I want to apologize first and foremost, I had originally recorded this portion of it, but could not use that footage, so I'm going to show you guys what I have done. So we're here in the office of the faction representative for the Cigaris Pioneers. And if we pull up the map, for those of you who might not be familiar, we're here in Cigaris, which is in the Terran area, which is in the bottom left-hand corner of the overall map. Okay, remember the Tides of Avarice is right here, sort of in the middle. Okay, so you've got that area, but then in the bottom left-hand corner, this is the area where the Terran live and work. So that's where we are, right down here in the Space Lab. Their function of a trade station. So that's where we are right now. And the reason we were here is because I wanted to purchase a couple of blueprints, but not just any blueprints. So let's actually take a look at the blueprints. The first was a module, and it is a a build module. I purchased the large ship fabrication bay, and I did that for a couple of reasons. Number one is that our future plans are going to rely heavily on fighting. I want to do some big space battles just for the sheer fun of it. Now, a lot of that's going to be against the Xenon, but as we're going to see in a minute, that might also include one of the new pirate factions as well. We'll see. But in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of ships because obviously in space battles, we're going to lose a lot of ships. We've already got a way to print pretty much as many small and medium ships as we want with our Terran wharf. Okay? Because of the Terran economy, it is extremely simple. We don't need a whole lot to make it happen. So we can essentially just print all of the small and medium ships that we want. Well, now I want to take the next step and be able to do that with large ships as well. Now, a huge part of me wants to do that with extra large ships as well, but we're not quite there yet. We're going to work our way toward that, and we'll see if long-term we want to do that because, again, extremely expensive. Now, for those of you who might not be aware, you don't necessarily have to purchase all of these blueprints. There's other means of obtaining it, and including using EMP bombs and getting blueprints that way. I'm trying to avoid that if at all possible, but that option is available for those of you who are interested in using it. So now we own a large ship fabrication bay. Okay, awesome. So we've got that. But then another thing I wanted to do is I wanted a ship. All right, and the Terran have a large ship that I like, the Osaka. So let's actually come out of here, and you can see I've already purchased it. Both of these combined cost me over 430 million credits. That's right, we had almost 500 million credits. We're now down to about 70. So yeah, this is a very long-term plan. Now, I don't want to get my credits down too low because our traders use this current balance figure, which is the same figure, by the way, that pops up in the top left-hand corner when you're in the map screen as well as some of these other screens. I don't want to get that number too low because the traders use it. And of course, I'm always having to transfer money into and out of the various station accounts as needed. So I don't want to get it too low, but anything above, say, 20, 25 million, I'm okay with, at least temporarily. Of course, long term, we certainly want to get that money back. In fact, let's take a quick look out here and see how our accounts are doing. Most of these you can see, they don't need any money on a regular basis, and I'm just very quickly looking down through. Whole Parts Factory's made a little bit of money there. Same thing with refined metals. Our scrap has made a little bit, but for the most part, we're using that for our own purposes. And the scrap is that whole production cycle and the behavior of the Manticore is so bugged apparently, because I'm now down to 2. I started out with 5. I've lost 3 of them for no good reason. So the AI just is not friendly to me with that. So also, here's something new I have found. The Terran wharf is now being used by both the Cigaris Pioneers and I believe the Terran. It has been used. Right now it's up to 9 million. I didn't put that money in there. I try to keep it right around 5 million. So yeah, they've been purchasing some more ships. So that has started to become a thing. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nowhere near what the other factions are using our initial wharf for. Nowhere near that. But every once in a while, I'll see 3 to 5 ships hop into production that are not ours. So that is a very good thing. Now, 37, almost 38 million. I like that. I'm telling you, these wharfs are essentially money printing machines. And also remember, I do not use this wharf for our own purposes. I don't build any of our ships out of this one. Now, I'm actually going to leave this money in the Terran wharf. Okay, that brings us back up over 100. Excellent. You guys just keep building those ships, and I'll keep being happy about it. Now, let's come back out, because one of the things I wanted to do is I want to take a look at the Osaka. In order to do that, we're going to come over to the shipyard here in Terran space, and we're going to take a quick look at it. So the Osaka, again, large ship, a destroyer, and I'm going to pull up a loadout that I did. Okay, nothing entirely special about this loadout, but it's for demonstration purposes. We're going to quickly go through this one. We're using the all-around engines, and of course, we're using Mark III for this stuff because I wanted max shields, and you can see 208,000 on the shields. That is huge. That is one of the big benefits of this particular vessel because that is not quite twice what we're getting right now on the behemoths. And the hull isn't anything special, but it's in the range that I'm looking for. The other thing that I really like is not under the weapons, but under the turrets. We have 3 large turrets as opposed to 2, which seems to be fairly standard. We have 3, and then instead of 4 turrets, 4 medium turrets, we have 6. So that is very good. So we get an extra large and a couple of extra medium turrets on this thing, in addition to all of the shielding. So that is pretty awesome. So that's what I want to start building, exclusively building these, again, because the Terran economy is so simple. And that's going to take a while to get all of that production up and going, all of the building done and everything. So we'll look at that in future videos, but we have the blueprints. We're ready to go. Now, there's one other blueprint that I don't know if we have.
It's an honor to see you here.
And if we don't have it, I don't know if we're going to be able to purchase it right now. So let's see. Actually, equipment is what I want. And I want shield generators. We want large. Okay, 15 million. So what I'm interested in, the large shield generators, I want the Mark III. That's what we were just looking at. And I want that because these ships, I want them to be as durable as we can possibly get them. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one to the list. 15.2 million credits. Thankfully, no longer seems like a huge deal. Anything else we need to do while we're in here? What about turrets? Any other turrets I need to do? Large turrets. What do we need? The large bolt. Actually, with the large turrets, mostly what I want to get into is, do we already own that? Or do we not? Large pulse turret. Yep, I want that one. And I'll go ahead and get the bolt as well. I'm not sure we're going to be using that. And remember, we're also on some of our turrets, we're using the Argon version of those turrets. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to spend some more money. Money that I didn't even intend to spend right now. Weapons. I think we're okay here. I don't know. Ooh, we'll have to see about that. We'll have to see about that. I actually forgot about that. Yikes, that is going to be another huge expenditure. So, all right, the Terran main battery.
Good luck out there.
Yikes. Okay, so we're going to spend just tons of money here. Not that I mind. We'll just have to make sure we don't spend too much. All right, let's go ahead and just bring up, not that it matters, but our weapons. Yep, there's the main battery. Okay, well, if you got to do it, you got to do it. So let's go ahead and come back out here. Yep, we've bored him once again.
It's an honor to see you here.
It looks like it's an honor. I promise we are going to get out of your way at some point. So let's take a look at the weapons. Large. All right, we need the main battery. So yeah, let's just spend all the money. We're going to spend about 500 million credits today. 500 million credits. Do you know how long that took to save that up? Okay, so we've got that one. All right, so that takes care of the weapons. Turrets, we've got... let's see. We need to reselect these. I'm not sure I'm actually going to use these. The pulse... What I really want for the turrets are the plasma. That's what I really want. But I may have to make do with the pulse and the bolt. But I really want that plasma. So I may sneak in a few of the plasma turrets along the way. If nothing else, we can use those in the medium style turrets. But again, you can see we don't have that plasma option unless we go into the more traditional. So shield generators, we want the large Mark III. We're down to 57 million. We're just going to have to stop here for right now. Obviously, we're going to have to come back around at some point. But the all-around engine is the one I want. Thrusters, we want the... Oh, boy. Do we want the Mark? I mean, you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, let's just spend the money. I mean, why not? I mean, we're down to 35 million. Okay, we're getting into the danger zone right now. All right, that should be it. That's all we need. So we're down to 35 million credits. Yikes. Okay, confirm it. Make it happen. Make it a thing and make it happen. I think we now have everything we need to purchase, or excuse me, build our own Osakas. However, in case we're missing anything, something that I forgot about, I'll go ahead and purchase those along the way. But wow. Now, let's talk about where we're going to build these Osakas. And by the way, I just love, I gotta come in here just one more time. Let's just come in here one more time. I just love the look of this thing. I mean, I really, really like the look of this thing. I mean, you can see here where the turrets go, as well as the large turrets. I mean, you can see everything on here. There's tons of coverage. I love it. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to go with that one. Also, the numbers are really good when we get to build those for their durability. Now, where to put this thing? Because the plan is to do a lot of space battles in the future, primarily against the Z9, but as I mentioned earlier, possibly against one of the brand new pirate factions. And we're going to see that here in just a second. So I have a couple of options. Obviously, we can always just add it here to our Terran wharf. We can add large ship production right on there. We've already got everything going, and that may be where we start. However, that's a long way from where we're going to be doing most of our fighting. Because to begin with, our fighting is going to take place in a Tikva's Choice, and I as soon as possible want to move into Tharkas Cascade right up here and start putting down defense stations and maybe having some patrols up here. So that's going to take a lot of ships. A lot of ships. If we can make it happen. We may just get destroyed utterly whenever we try this. But we're going to give it a shot. Then, if we can bring that down, I want to start moving into some of the other areas where the Xenon interfere with our daily lives. Okay? Hatikva's Choice is the major one for us because they kill a lot of traders that are traveling right in through this area. They cause a lot of havoc. But also, I know that they are an issue over here for the Terran, because if you get over into Getsufune, then they are coming through this jump gate, and I'm not exactly sure where the jump gate leads to, but I do know that the Xenon are using that. So we may want to help out the Terran over here. Also, I know that they are a pain over here for the Xenon in this area. Okay, I know they're coming through this jump gate, and that leads to Matrix 451, and I'm sure there are other places, but those are some of the major ones that I'm aware of off the top of my head. So long term, I really want to take the fight to the Xenon because it is so cool to have these space battles, and I absolutely love them, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I am when we get to that point. But again, it is a long, long process. Well, I don't have to tell you guys anything. We've spent at least 500 million credits today in today's episode. And again, unfortunately, the first couple of purchases, that recording didn't happen the way I hoped, had some issues there, but overall 500 or more million credits. So now let's talk about a couple of other locations where we could build our large ship fabrication. One of those is here in Silent Witness 1. Okay, and the reason for that is it's right here next to the superhighway. And that means anywhere we need to take our large ships, we've got these jump gates right here. Now, remember, large and extra large ships don't get to use the actual highway itself, but you're never very far from a jump gate that you're going to need. So that's why I consider it to still be an advantage, even though you can't necessarily use the superhighway itself for these vessels. So putting it, anywhere really in here would be a great idea. However, I have noticed the Vigor Syndicate is over here in force. Look at this. We've got large, extra large ships and a ton of fighters over here. I mean, this is huge. Now, of course, we know that Windfall comes right in here. Okay, so the Vigor Syndicate has a wharf right here. They jump through this gate, and here they are in Silent Witness. So this may be an opportunity for us to fortify our position. I don't think there's any reason for them to come into Silent Witness 11, which is our home base. But I'm thinking we might want to set up some defensive stations in here and start large production in here. I think that would be really cool. Now, the downside to that is if we continue to lose reputation with them, because I believe I've seen it go down even more. Yeah, we're at minus 13 right now. So somehow we're fighting. I don't know where it's happening. I'm certainly not commanding it, but somewhere it's happening. So if that continues, they may start to attack us before we're prepared for it. So there's so much going on with this. But you can see they are not playing around with what they have over here currently. So if we're going to start over here, we got to be careful. I'm hoping the Argon will come in and maybe help some, at least in the beginning, but I can't be sure of that. And also, of course, at the end of the day, it could be more fun. For that could always be more fun, and I'm all about that. So, we've got a couple of choices here for our large ship production. We can make it very safe and simply put it over here somewhere. Anywhere over in here will be perfectly fine. The SCA, we're just leaving them alone. We're not really even messing with them at this point. In fact, what is our relationship with the SCA? The scale plate, where are you? There you are, -5. So yeah, we've essentially left them alone. They've left us alone for the most part. So I'm fine with that arrangement. I've got zero issue with that. So for right now, I think I'm going to go with Silent Witness 11. Okay, just for the safety of it, to make sure we keep our production safe. We've already got a wharf here. Let's keep our production safe. And then, as we start to really ramp up production, I'm going to assemble some fleets and start patrolling here in Silent Witness 1. And who knows what kind of fireworks that might start. So folks, a lot happened in today's episode. We didn't even get to what I originally wanted to get to, at least fully. So let's try to see what we can get to today. Let me hop back into, let's see, Avarice. Yeah, here we go. It wants us to go over here to the scrap processing facility. So let's actually hop over. We are now done with all of the teleportation research, so I can teleport to any of our ships or stations anywhere. All right. Oh, we timed it just perfectly with the autosave. So now you guys get to see in real time just how long this thing takes to do an autosave. But while we're on the screen, take a look at their processing facility. I mean, these guys are doing things on a small scale.
System Avarice.
Can I get out? Yeah, there we go.
Requesting permission to dock.
Love Avarice. I mean, I have to look around just because the ambiance of this area is amazing. All right. Anyway, we've spent enough time here. We got to go. We got to go. We don't have much time left in today's video. So let's go and help our guy out. Or should I say he's going to help us out. So the sales office. Don't think I've ever been to a sales office before in this game. It does look nice. I like some of these new modules. Very cool. Not a lot of people hanging out in them. All right, here we go.
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dagobas Lahubasis Eurylos 3. Let's get
That was
right
a
to
mouthful.
it. How much did you say you want to pay for these hull parts?
I know it is a low price, but hear me out. You are practically swimming in those wares. They take up storage space and hamper your production. Eager buyers like us are doing you a favor.
I'm not sure where you got that idea from, but we will have to turn down that offer. It is not profitable for our station.
Okay, so what do you want me to do here? Point upwards. All right, I'm not interested in spending any money for hull parts right now. Let's start there. Should I just trust him, which I assume is the shrug option? I don't really know what this thing wants me to do. I'm going to point upwards. I'm going to assume, and this may be a very bad assumption, that this is talking about offer more. But I really don't want this deal if we're going to have to pay money for it. And something tells me he don't have any credits.
I believe we can come to an agreement.
Sure, but the price needs to be higher.
Yes, I see. However, it needs to stay below Commonwealth prices.
Yes, we can go quite low.
All right, how about just a thumbs up this time?
Brilliant. Then we have a deal.
Great! I will arrange everything, and you can get your trading ships going. It is nice doing business with you, Mr. Dagobas Lahubasis Eurylos 3.
Okay. What just happened? Because that was hilarious. Now I just need to find ways for her to continue to say his name. That was absolutely amazing. The voice actor, whoever you are, congratulations. You did an amazing job. Wow. Okay, so now we got to talk to him. And I guess this is probably where he's going to tell us that he needs a bunch of money.
This went really well. I do not believe that we could have achieved a lower price. And we are undercutting the Commonwealth. We made a great team. Now it is time to make some profits. Buy wares at this station and find profitable trades on the market. Shipyards and wharves should be profitable buyers. Now look for the highest bidders and make a fortune.
Uh-oh, we've got a supply ship in the bottom left-hand corner that's under attack. That's why I'm constantly having to build so many new traders. Attrition is real in this game. All right, so it wants me to buy some hull parts and then do the sales. Okay, we've been doing that the entire gameplay. So this is clearly more of a beginning level mission, albeit requiring some credits to get this done. But it's a more of a beginning style mission. We'll continue on, but that's all we have time for today. Woo, that was a lot for today. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're going to start to take the fight to some of our enemies, the ones we know about right now, such as the Xenon, and others that something tells me are going to be newly acquired a little bit later on. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more X4 foundations.